my world would end without you in my life, but without you I still live. The misery has come and gone like you. I thought I could not live without you. Thought I could not dream without you, and alone we still dream, and we still dream.
We hope you enjoy The Magicians and We Still Dream by Rachel Lawson. The backyard was silent, wrapped in the soft hush of late afternoon. The old elm tree cast long shadows across the grass, the same tree Blake used to sit beneath when he needed to think or hide or breathe. At its base stood the cenotaph, Blake Alexander, not lost, only gone. Fred and Anna approached slowly. This place always felt like stepping into a memory that hadn't finished happening. Fred carried the folded page of his song. In his other hand lay the broken pocket watch, Blake's, his, theirs. He knelt, placing the watch at the foot of the stone. Then he unfolded the page, smoothing it with trembling fingers. Anna stood close but not touching him. She knew he needed to begin alone. Fred drew a breath and began to sing, quietly, as if afraid the world might hear. Our world has changed from as it was. I thought my world would end without you in my life, but without you, I still live. His voice wavered, but he pushed on. The misery has come and gone like you. I thought I could not live without you. The elm leaves rustled, as though listening. Fred tried to continue, but the next line caught in his throat. He swallowed hard and forced the words out. Our world has changed from as it was. His voice cracked. He stopped. Anna stepped closer, her hand hovering near his shoulder. Fred tried again, but the words dissolved into a ragged breath. He pressed the heel of his hand to his eyes, shaking. I can't. His voice broke. I can't do this. Anna knelt beside him instantly, wrapping her arms around him from behind, pulling him against her chest. He didn't resist. He folded into her like a man collapsing under the weight of centuries. "It's all right," she whispered into his hair. "Let it break. Let it break." Fred clutched the song page, crumpling it in his fist. He was just a boy, he choked. He didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve to disappear. Anna held him tighter. "I know." "He should be here," Fred whispered. "He should have had a life, a future. He should have grown old. He should have—" His breath hitched, and he buried his face against her shoulder. Anna rocked him gently, the way she once rocked Blake when he was frightened. "He gave those things to you," she murmured. "He gave everything to you." Fred's tears fell onto the grass. After a long moment, Anna reached for the crumpled page in his hand. She smoothed it gently and placed it at the base of the cenotaph. "Finish it with me," she whispered. Fred shook his head. "I can't." "You can," she said softly. "Not alone." She held his hand, steadying him. Together, barely above a whisper, they sang the final lines. "I thought I could not dream without you, and alone we still dream, and we still dream." The wind shifted, warm, gentle, brushing past them like a familiar hand. Fred closed his eyes, leaning into Anna's embrace. "He heard us," he whispered. Anna nodded, her cheek against his hair. He always does. The song lay at the foot of the cenotaph, fluttering softly in the breeze, a promise spoken into the quiet heart of the only place Blake had ever truly belonged. The next time Fred and Anna met, it was on the stage of Fred's theatre, now repurposed for an intergalactic political forum. The lights were bright, the audience vast, but the space beside Fred felt unbearably empty. It was the place where Blake always stood. As the Emperor's grandson, Blake had stood proudly at Fred's side. As Fred's younger self, he had stood there without knowing why it felt like home. And now, by the cruel twist of time, Fred stood alone, the elder version of the boy who had vanished to save him. Anna stepped onto the stage from the wings. Her eyes were already shining with unshed tears. She knew this stage as well as Blake had. She knew the exact spot where he would have stood, the way he would have smiled, the way he would have squeezed her hand when no one was looking. Their hearts broke together. Fred forced himself to speak, his voice steady only because it had to be. "Blake left unexpectedly," he said to the assembled delegates. "He went on a mission of mercy. He may not return soon, but he left with hope." It was the official story, the one the galaxy could accept. A story that wasn't a lie, but not the truth either. Anna lowered her head, letting the audience interpret her tears as grief for a missing prince. Only Fred knew the deeper truth. She was grieving her husband, her partner, the man she loved, who now stood beside her in another form. Fred drew a breath. "Before he left, he wrote something for me." He stepped forward, and the hall fell silent. Then he began to sing, Blake's song, written for the man he would become. "When times are sad and you feel like no one is there, remember, you are not alone. I am still here. When you need a friend, I will always be there. You are never alone. With me, you are never alone. Alone. You are never alone." His voice trembled, but he kept going. "When times are sad and you feel like no one is there, remember, you are not alone. I am still here. When you need a friend, I will always be there. You are never alone. With me, you are never alone. Alone, you are never alone." Anna covered her mouth, tears spilling freely. Fred sang the final verse, his voice cracking despite all his control. When times are sad and you feel like no one is there, remember you are not alone. I am still here. When you need a friend, I will always be there. You are never alone. With me, you are never alone. Alone, you are never alone. The hall erupted in applause. Anna wept openly. Fred did not. He couldn't. If he cried here, in front of them all, the tears would crystallize into star-blue sapphires, the unmistakable mark of Blake, and the truth would spill out with them. So he held everything in until he was alone backstage. Only then did he break. His tears fell silently, each one hardening into a tiny blue gem as it hit the floor. The same tears Blake once shed, the same colour Anna used to kiss from Blake's cheeks. The forum ended with a grand ball. Fred found Anna standing alone near the edge of the dance floor, her posture regal but her eyes hollow. He approached her with the careful distance they had to maintain in public. "May I?" he asked. She nodded. They danced, formally, gracefully, the way an emperor and a noblewoman should. But every step was a memory. Every turn was a ghost. Every brush of their hands was a reminder of the man they both missed. Anna whispered, "He always interrupted us. He always cut in to dance with me." Fred's breath caught. "I remember." They danced until the music blurred into background noise, until the hall emptied, until only the two of them remained. When the last guests drifted away, Anna looked up at him, truly looked, and the loneliness in her eyes was unbearable. "Come home with me," she said softly. "Just don't let me be alone tonight." Fred hesitated only a moment. He lived alone. She lived with a grief only he could understand. And though they could not be together in public, though the world believed Blake gone forever, Fred was still Blake, and Anna still loved him. He nodded. Yes. They left the ball together, quietly, privately, two souls bound by time, loss, and a love that refused to die. Anna's backyard was quiet, lit only by the soft glow of lanterns Blake had hung months earlier. The air was heavy with the scent of roses, the deep, intoxicating fragrance of the red Mr. Lincoln hybrid teas Blake had replanted with such pride. Fred and Anna walked slowly beneath the rose arbor, the petals brushing their shoulders like memories. Anna touched one of the blooms. He planted these just before he left. Fred nodded. He always said they'd outlive him. That wasn't supposed to be true, she whispered. Fred found a perfect rosebud, deep red, tightly furled, and gently cut it from the stem. He offered it to her. "For you," he said softly. Anna smiled, but it trembled. The rose reminded her of Blake's hands, Blake's laughter, Blake's youth. And yet the man standing before her was Blake too. Older, wiser, carrying the weight of years the younger one never lived. Fred saw the conflict in her eyes. He stepped closer and wrapped his arms around her. She leaned into him, feeling the warmth she knew so well. Safe, familiar, loved. They kissed, slow, quiet, full of everything they couldn't say aloud. A tear slipped down Anna's cheek. She wasn't sure if it belonged to the man she held or the boy she missed. Then, a familiar retching sound shattered the moment. Fred closed his eyes. "What do you want, boy?" Anna turned to see Lakelandite, Blake's son, doubled over near the hedge, looking green. "I came to check on Mum," he groaned, wiping his mouth, "and found this." Fred sighed. "She's fine." "I can see that," Lakelandite muttered, mortified. Anna stepped forward, smoothing her hair. "How's the new job going?" Lakelandite straightened, trying to regain dignity. "It's murder. Dante is a nightmare." Fred snorted. "Tell me about it. He used to be my assistant." Lakelandite blinked. "He still acts like you never left." Fred raised an eyebrow. He hasn't changed. Anna laughed softly, the first real laugh she'd had since Blake vanished. The sound eased the tension in the air. Lakelandite looked between them, awkward but affectionate. "I'll leave you two alone. Just try not to traumatize me again." He disappeared back into the house, muttering about needing ginger tea. Fred and Anna exchanged a look, half amused, half aching. The roses rustled in the evening breeze. Fred took Anna's hand gently. "We'll get through this," he said. Anna leaned her head against his shoulder. "I know. I just miss him." Fred closed his eyes. "So do I." They stood together beneath the roses, grieving the boy who was gone, holding the man he became, and trying to find a way to live with both truths at once. Lakelandite trudged across the backyard toward the shimmering doorway that led to the afterlife's administrative wing, a place Blake had once ruled with reluctant authority, and Dante had ruled with excessive enthusiasm. The door snapped shut behind him as he stepped into his new office, Blake's old office, his father's office. The room smelled faintly of ink, old parchment, and the lingering ozone of Reaper magic. Papers were stacked in precarious towers across the desk, forming a landscape of bureaucratic doom. On the wall hung a portrait of Blake, not the boy, but the man he became, stern, dignified, and slightly annoyed, as if the artist had captured him mid-complaint. Lakelandite dropped into the chair with a groan. "I hate paperwork." He reached for the first stack. The door slammed open. Dante stormed in like a thundercloud in a waistcoat, arms full of even more paperwork. "There you are," Dante snapped, slamming the stack onto the desk so hard the top pages fluttered to the floor. "Where did you go?" Lakelandite opened his mouth. "You haven't got time to go wandering off," Dante barked, cutting him off. "Your work is too important. You can leave personal matters for later." Lakelandite stared at him, jaw tightening. "I went to check on Mum." Dante waved a dismissive hand. "Irrelevant. The living can wait. The dead cannot." Lakelandite stood abruptly, chair scraping back. "Go push a pen." Dante froze. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," Lakelandite said, storming past him. "Push a pen. Push all the pens. Push them somewhere creative." Dante sputtered, turning red. "You cannot speak to me that way. I am the assistant to the Grand Reaper." Lakelandite paused in the doorway, glaring back. "And I'm the Grand Reaper now. Try to remember that." He left Dante fuming in the office, surrounded by collapsing towers of paperwork and the disapproving stare of Blake's portrait. As the door swung shut behind him, Lakelandite muttered under his breath, "I miss Dad. He never made me do paperwork." From inside the office, Dante shouted, "I heard that!" Lakelandite smirked and kept walking.
When times are sad and you feel like no one is there, remember you are not alone. I am still here when you need a friend. I